What's going on, Eurovoxers? I'm back again with Dominik. How are you doing?
I'm still awesome. How are you?
I'm still awesome as well. So today we're talking about Finland and UMK, which is, of course, the revived national selection. For the past few years, they've been having a single artist that was internally selected and multiple songs, but now it's multiple artists and multiple songs. What a concept.
Wow, inventive.
I
I'm
know, right?
impressed.
But truly speaking, a lot of people are really happy that it's returned to this format. So let's talk about which one of these six artists could be the winner. All right, so let's take a look at what Finland has in store. First, we have Katharina with her song Eternity. This has a really cool blend of it's got a bit of a ballad vibe to it, but then it turns into a total dance number. Dominik, how do you feel about her song?
Yeah, so the beginning is very interesting because she's almost whispering. It's not really singing, but it's whispering. And then in the end, it turned into like, yeah, as you have said, like a dance number or something. And I got a little bit of Valentina Samarino vibes, Crystalide,
Oh,
because in the beginning it's very like, okay, we are going into the battle, and then no, surprise. Um, like you know what I mean. So that's cool. It's a bit like it's not that inventive though. We have that several times already. So yeah.
Fair enough. I agree with you. It's not reinventing the wheel, but I do think that it has a really nice arc that is like not only in the instrumentation, but her voice really carries it. And you mentioned that at the beginning she's kind of whispering, singing very softly, and then by the time that we're at the second chorus, it's taken to a completely different level, and she's belting, and she's got different vocal styles in there. I see that this is not really a favorite for a lot of people. So I wonder if this could be a dark horse. Maybe not for the win, but to do well, because we've seen Katharina at UMK before. We know that she can perform well live. I think what this comes down to is whether or not the staging will kind of overdo it, because it is
Hmm.
cliche, as we said. It's not reinventing the wheel. So hopefully it doesn't kind of make it more cheesy. But nonetheless, I think that this is quite a strong entry, and I wouldn't be surprised if it is being overlooked. So we have to mention that this next one is the fan favorite by far. This is Erica Vignan with her song Cicciolina. Cicciolina. I've forgotten how she says it exactly. But Dominik, tell me your thoughts on this song.
Okay, so first of all, her look. You just look at her, like you see all of the participants, and then you see her like, whoa, okay, she stands out just by that. Then it's the only Finnish song out of the six, which is interesting, and it has a very big reception already, as you have said. Like I think the video of her has already over 1 million views, which is a lot, especially for Finland, which is
Yep.
quite a small country. So very interesting. I like it. It's got like an 80s vibe sometimes. Like this could have been there in the 80s already. And I think maybe it's just because it's Finnish, but I have the feeling that there are lots of words in a very tiny bit of time. Like you're just saying it very fast, so I can put all the words together, which is fun though. I like it.
It's certainly a fun entry, and it
Yeah.
doesn't surprise me that it has gathered this much support from people, because this really ticks off the kind of classic Eurovision boxes that we've had for years and years and years. This is like a really critical part of it, though, because I think that considering nowadays, I see this going two ways. I see this because of the fact that it stands out for being in Finnish, for being a little bit schlagery, for being definitely a camp entry. That could work for it enough to get the fan support that takes it to Rotterdam and even does well at Rotterdam. Or if it's overdone and it's seen as kind of cheap, then it might not work as well. Because obviously fan favorites have flopped in the past before. I
You
believe that
tell.
that UMK also has juries as well. So that's right. That they have juries for this too.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not a guaranteed thing. As much as it might have 1 million views on YouTube, I don't think that this is a for sure thing. But if the hype is to be believed, then certainly this could win.
Yeah, and if it wins, we really have to be careful because it reminds me a bit like Sarah Alto 2 years ago. Big fan favorite, and then later on, like in the beginning, it was such a hype. Well deserved, if you ask me. But like in the end, it was like, not sure if it qualifies, and it just barely did. So we really have to take a step back maybe and see, okay, it's a fan favorite, but it doesn't guarantee you a very good result. I think Monsters should be a warning in these like in this situation.
I like the way you think.
Kun joku kaunis päivä luoksesi saavun, ei auta vaikka kokis nunna kaavun. Taivakseen itkis koko Argentiina, jos on elänyt kuin Gigi Oliva. Nautinnon puolesta.
Next up is Axel, who has a very long last name.
Let me try. Kankaranta. No. Kankaranta. Nailed it.
So up next, we have one of the ballads in this year's entry. This is Axel with his song Looking Back. Dominik, how do you feel about his entry?
First of all, it's a guy. The only guy out of the 6, so that already stands out. Plus, I think he's almost the highest voice of all of them, which is so fun because it's the only male. His voice is very high. I really enjoy this song. It's a nice ballad. Okay, it's a ballad again, but still, I really like it. Especially if you think about the song last year, because it's like, look away, and now it's looking back, so it would have been hilarious. Yeah, pun intended. So let's see how it goes. But yeah, I wouldn't be mad if he wins.
It's so funny because you picked up on a lot of things that I completely went over my head. The fact that he's the only guy in this selection, but then also the whole looking away and looking back. You're a smart guy. I love the distinctiveness of his voice. It's a pretty good ballad. I am thinking kind of like you in the sense that we have so many ballads that have been selected so far. So I'm kind of like, do we want another one? It's not his fault though. It's not his fault that other countries have went with ballads. I like the hook as well. The lyrics aren't too cliche. It's not reinventing the wheel, but it's pleasing. And yeah, the hook has got an infectious quality to it. I just think that it maybe could use some variation by the time we hear the third of the song by the end, because it seems to level off. But I'm looking forward to seeing how this will look.
Chasing the high life, stuck in the low lies, but we never know what we had until it's over and we're looking back.
So up next we have F3M, which is the only group in the selection with their song Bananas. I'm sure that this could definitely be described as a certified bop. Dominik, how do you feel about it?
Do you know the band Little Mix?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Finnish version of it.
I
think. So the chorus is always like all the girls singing together, and that's it. It's not like they are single voices. And they have very different looks. One of them is rapping, I think, and the other ones are singing, but also differently. So yeah, if you like just rapping, you have at least 1/3 of the song you like, and if you like one of the others, then it's like, okay, I like this part, but all of this together, I don't know, it may be a bit too much. It's like really in your face. Yeah, we will see. Sometimes this really works. I think the lyrics are a bit cringy though. I don't know. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to work for some people who just kind of like that song that they can, exactly as they're describing in the song, you kind of turn it up before you go out on the night. And yeah, so like I hear some kind of, I do hear Little Mix, as you mentioned. To me, it was kind of like Ariana Grande meets Charlie XCX in a group kind of presentation. It's very radio friendly. It's just not my kind of thing. And that's really all I have to say about it. It could be a lot of fun on stage. So we'll have to see.
When me and my girls go out, we go bananas, bananas. When me and my girls go out, we go bananas, bananas. I'm gonna ruin your makeup.
So this next one is definitely going to please people who like a little bit of retro house. This is Sansa with her song Lover View. Dominik, tell me, what do you think?
I like it. It reminds me like a song for a computer or like a game, like PlayStation Grand Theft Auto or something, and then you simply drive around, and then it's like, love of you, love of you. So yeah, it's fine. I like it. It's a bit repetitive though, because like the chorus is already love of you, and that's it. Okay. I really prefer the verses to the chorus, which is unusual. Normally I'm always like chorus is the best, but this time I prefer the verses.
I agree with you in the sense that it's got a vibe. It's really nice to just turn on. I don't know if I would hear it in Grand Theft Auto of all games, but it's not to say that I'm a big Grand Theft Auto fan. I'm really glad that I looked into this because the producer of this song is actually quite well known in the DJ producer community. His name's Yotto, and he's Finnish as well. For those people who know the British group Above and Beyond, they have a label called Anjuna Beats and Anjuna Deep, and this is one of their artists. So I knew that it sounded familiar, and I'm really happy that I found out about that because I love the production in this. The lyrics, I find that sometimes there are certain choices that I find a bit unusual, but besides that, it's still really aesthetically pleasing. Like even if the words by themselves, if you were to take them away from the song, they might seem a bit odd, but with the song and with the style of her singing, it's really, really pleasant. So this one's actually my favorite.
There you go.
If you couldn't tell already, I don't think it's going to be the winner, but I just love it. I'm happy to see this kind of entry, and I hope that it does well at least.
Feel like I'm shivering. I wanna be a love of you, love of you, love of you, love of you. When the day turns into night, wanna be a love of you, love of you, love of you, love of you.
Last but not least, we have Tika with her ballad "I Let My Heart Break." She's of course going to be closing out the show. Dominik, how do you feel about this one?
It brings variety, that's good. It reminds me of German Schlager a bit. If you would translate it from English to German, it would it could be like a Schlager immediately. Just because it's English, it has a different vibe. But I just thought about it, it's very dramatic and it's very it has it ticks a lot of ESC boxes, like key change, and lyrics are a bit dramatic and stuff like that. Yeah, it's alright. It's not my favorite, but happy for her that she's participating.
Okay. Yeah, I think that I've seen for some people this is actually their favorite. It's the only one that I've seen overtake Chicolina in terms of people's favorites, but seldomly. Still most people are for Erika Vignan. A solid ballad, definitely very Eurovision friendly. As you mentioned, it ticks the boxes. Again, the question of do we need another ballad comes up. Not her fault, but I guess we'll have to see. Maybe this could really transform on stage if the emotions are felt through. I'll say that of all of the lyric videos that were made, this one was my favorite visually because it had a little bit of pyro in the background and her laying with some mirrors around her. It just felt like they put a little bit more thought into it. So I think that if that comes out on stage, it could be nice. All right, so those are the 6 songs. Quickly, I know that we kind of talked about the winning potential. Which one do you think it's going to be, Dominik?
I think it's going to be Erika.
Yeah. I'll stick to what I said in that this could still be killed by the juries, and I know that we're going to see all the salt pouring from fans if that's the case. But how about this? Because Erika is obviously the clear fan favorite, which one of the other 5 would you prefer to go?
Actually, Sansa with Love of You.
Oh, really?
Not a ballad. Did I say something negative besides bit like Love of You, but I like it. It's just the fact that she's only singing Love of You, but it's in a cool modern way. I like it. Go for it.
All right, I agree with you, and I'm also going to throw in Katharina there because I think that again the arc in her song is really nice, and we know that she can perform really well live. So I think that she is in the running at least. But anyway, guys, that's what we think. What do you think? Are you Team Ciccolina? Or are you Team one of the other five? Let us know.
Oh.
I'm just saying that this is how it tends to be sometimes. But anyway, let us know in the comments which one of your favorite is and which one you think is going to win. Reach out to us, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Our website is eurovoxx.net. Subscribe to Eurovoxx if you haven't done so, and we will see you next time. Take care.